Hey everyone, this is Full Self-Driven back again with another video. It's been a while since I posted, but yep, we're here for it. Still waiting on 12.4.1 or 12.4.2 or 12.4 in general. But here we are. Not sure if we're ever gonna see that, but we are got a couple of different addresses put in, just taking us back roads, avoiding the highway, and really just seeing what the system can do. I finally got a mic, so hopefully the audio is gonna be better on the videos going forward. We do have a, I tried installing the update when it came out. I did receive it, and then I had an issue when I was downloading it. It just disappeared from my app, and my Tesla app, and when I went into my car, it said my car was up to date, and I didn't have an update. And I couldn't figure out, honestly, what had happened. And then I saw that, a lot of people were saying that it had stopped release, and they weren't wide releasing it for a while. They were going to fix some bugs. And that was now, I think, 3 weeks ago or so. Now, see, this is a bug right here. It gets into the turn lane, and which makes no sense. I mean, it should easily just be able to hug the right side. The line was there on the right. But yeah, stuff like that really has me super skeptical of the no hands. Funny enough, that's my license plate, no hands, but I never thought that we'd actually be there with how long it's taken Tesla and the autopilot and full self-driving team to get to the point we are. They've come a long way. They have come a very long way, but they still have a very long way to go before I see it even being widely used or accepted. Especially, I don't know if we'll ever see robo-taxi, to be honest. I like to joke around about it, but I have my doubts for sure. I also don't understand why Tesla can't put into their navigation system and settings, like, say you want to avoid the highways like I'm trying to do right now, and I have to put in multiple or different destinations to stay away from the highway, and avoid it all, going here, here, and here to, avoid this. So it's like, that should be something where it should just be in the settings where I can avoid it. I can avoid tolls, I can avoid ferries. Why can't I avoid freeways? It's just stuff like that should have been implemented years ago, and we just still don't have it to this day. I don't know if that's a Google Maps thing or the version they're using, but it's very weird. We'll allow it to do majority of the drive, but I have seen it hugs the right a lot, the right lanes, and I've had a lot of issues with like making right-hand turns. It just stays way too close to the curb. It'll go not necessarily hit the curb, but it'll go over into the concrete area, sometimes hit a pothole. I did have it in North Georgia the other day when I didn't have my setup, my camera. Unfortunately, I will have to get footage of some of those driving roads here soon when I get back up there. But Yeah, it's very weird. It acts completely differently up there. It doesn't seem like it has any sort of confidence. And then at other times it'll go around these windy turns and stuff that other cars are going, 25, 30. It'll try taking it at 45, and it'll just be super uncomfortable. It'll be all over the rumble strips. It'll even sometimes go off. I felt my tires drop off the, at least part of my tires drop off the curb and embankment, like on a windy curve and stuff, and I was like, you know what, it's not even worth it to let the car drive. Like, most of the time, I'll allow it to do it to give data and help out other people in the future using it on those roads, but it's just, with other passengers in the car, it's just not worth it for how scared they are around the system. And it's super unfortunate, because I would love for us to be able to use this system and put a wife, or put my mom, or put anybody in my family in the seat, and be confident that the car is going to safely get them to their destination, and help them feel comfortable as well the whole route, because that's important. But I am gonna erase this to see. I think might route us a little bit differently now, instead of going up a mile. Yeah, see, it's gonna take this turn up here, but this is one of those turns where I think it's super just sketchy. Like, I might have to just not allow it to make the full turn. We'll see, depending on, I think sometimes it'll go over here, which is like, got super close though, but it's done it before where it's just dropped off there. And normally around here it drives plenty good in Atlanta, in the city, around the suburbs, but there's just these key things that have started with the there's a Cybertruck and a Y. I don't know if the camera was able to pick that up or not, but I've seen a lot more Cybertrucks recently. But again, I would love one, an EV truck in general, but with the amount of miles, range they get now, mileage, and at least Tesla, Cybertruck is not very impressive. Some people like the looks. I like the looks, but some people don't like the looks, and I get that. But they are so behind in their range, and even their software and their technology sometimes. I mean, they just now released a off-roading package here in the last few weeks, and off-roading update, I guess, where they can control a good bit more in their suspension and see a lot more of what's going on. But that wasn't shipped with the truck, and I understand some aspects of that, but they don't even have autopilot. Elon says it's not a priority for the autopilot team or full self-driving, them to work on getting autopilot full self-driving up and running on the Cybertruck system. And that's just mind-boggling to me, that these people pay extra to have full self-driving included in their truck, and then Elon's like, it could be months or a year, it's not really our priority. And for Elon to say months or a year, that could be, who knows, that could be years from now, that could be 2-3 years down the line. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but it's just crazy to me that they don't have that worked out more prior to the release of the truck, because the truck was in the works for so long. I mean, so long. I mean, it had to have been almost 6 or 7 years before they released that truck after announcing it. And it's just, stuff like that you gotta think of. I do love Tesla, but there are so many other great car manufacturers out there right now making amazing EVs. So like the Rivian, like if I were to get an SUV, I'm not so sure I would get a Model Y. I don't know exactly, what their whole, refresh is going to look like, but I am much more attracted to the Rivians right now if I were to, and I am, eventually in store for an EV. Just had a son about 2.5 months ago, and we need a second car, definitely. Not necessarily a bigger car, but down the road in the future, something to think of where, I don't like to upgrade my cars every few years. I like to have them for at least, 5 to 6 years, at least have it paid off before I go and try to trade it in or get something else. So yeah, I've got some time at least on this Model 3, at least another 3 years probably, so of driving this, and even more probably than that, because the price that I paid during COVID for this car, over 60 something grand, and the price now being worth, I think, they're offering 30, or I think Tesla was trying to offer me 27, or I just put it in for shits and giggles just to see what they would offer, but I think it was like 27 or 28 grand, and it's like, what in the absolute world do you think, like, I'm going to even remotely think about, accept, or I can't even consider a price like that. I think it's an insult. Some people have money like that, or don't mind, or want the new upgrade, but I could care less for the mere point that I still owe. I put a good chunk down on the car, and I've paid off more than what they require every month just to try to pay less interest. And I did sign up for like a great credit union at the time for like a 2-point-something% interest. But at the time, I was paying huge amounts compared to what other people are paying. Because it was pre-tax credit, pre-everything, with back in the summer of, I think it was 22. Yeah, it was right after the 23s started coming out, was that I got a 23 and in 22. So I love the car, but I owe 30 something grand on it still, so no world ever would I take what they were offering, 30 something grand or 28 grand, just depending on who you're going with. Yeah, here, take my car and I'll still pay off some money. And it's crazy to me. I don't waste money like that, so I'm not, here to spend 30, 40K to drive the car for 2 years. I'll definitely keep this thing for a very long time. In a Cybertruck, that could be something that we'll get in the future. Depending on, I'm not going back to that, but depending on if they update it to my liking and it's, justifiable for me to get something like that. Because I know they're going to do plenty of updates to it, and I know it's going to be good, at some point. Hopefully they'll get there. But right now, just everything about it is just very unappealing to me, and all the issues they're having, and I've had my grandfather and other family always say, never buy the first or second year of the car, next generation. And, I've tried to stick to that. I did it one time in my Honda, and I actually blew up the engine at 100,000 miles. That could have been my fault, though, for, adding over 100-something horsepower with boost and bolt-on mods, but at the same point, that's what pushed me to get a performance Tesla, because I loved the acceleration and the quickness of my little Honda, but I wanted something that was going to last me, at least feel like it was going to last me a long time. And after doing my research, this seemed like it would last me and be the most fun and enjoyable car, as well as being, what's the word, reliable, and, maintenance, cost of maintenance, just trying to keep the cost of ownership down. And it's funny you say that after you buy a performance car, you buy the standard car if you're trying to do that, but I couldn't go from the car that I was used to and get into a standard Tesla. It felt slow compared to my Honda. It really did. It's just heavy. It did not get up and go. This thing's heavy, but it gets up and goes, for sure. And I love the car. I really do. I will not go back to anything other than, daily driving, at least for around town and stuff, EV all day. One pedal driving, regen braking, and that's the main reason I'll stick with Tesla. I've driven other cars. Some are great, some work, some have potential. So I'll definitely see what happens, in the future with everything else, but I will definitely be testing a good portion of cars and seeing what happens with that. But another main reason I really want the update is because, not even the no hands aspect, I don't really mind that. I always try to keep my hand close or nearby for safety reasons, just because I'm not so trusty on the system. But I really cannot wait for the acceleration and deceleration to be better. It's not always the best, and I'm just hoping that we can get to a point where it will be better. And I'm not sure when that point will be, but yeah, I'm not sure what it's going to do here. Sorry, I got quiet. I changed my route to avoid the Walmart that I had in the GPS, and now it's thinking it's gonna make a right, or getting onto Windy Hill right here, and gonna make a left on the highway, 75 and a mile. So I'm not sure what it's gonna do here. I guess we'll see shortly. I'm assuming most likely it's just gonna go up to the next light and try to get over and make a right and just take the back roads that way, but we'll see. I used to have it drive to my house. I don't know if I've ever started a video from that location of work, but it's normally the other one, I think on the other side of town, that I always start all my videos from. But it doesn't pull me into my driveway from the right or the left anymore. It would never do it from the right. It would always put its blinker on and act like it needed to get over, and it just couldn't get over. So, and right now it just keeps accelerating and decelerating, because I guess it thought it was on that road, but now it's just gonna take this route. Sorry, it's a hot day. I'm not sure how long ago the video cut out, but thanks again for tuning in. We had a no intervention drive. Didn't have to disengage whatsoever. But again, I'm sorry the GoPro overheated. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below with any questions, comments you guys have. Please give our channel a subscribe. And, we'll be back next time. Thanks again for tuning in.